witness that our dear beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the courageous Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that Muhammad is rahmatil nas. He is a mercy to not just the Muslim world or the Christian world or the Yahudi world. He is a messenger for all. He is the mercy and the messenger for all the worlds. This is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Qul huwa Allahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. There is no God except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We openly bear witness that there is no deity, there is no force. Allah is total sovereignty over all the worlds. He is Rabbil Alameen. He is the Lord of all systems of created knowledge. Any knowledge that you can conceive in the human brain, Allah is Rabbil Alameen. He is the Lord of all systems of knowledge, period. Knowledge that has been discovered and knowledge that hasn't even evolved to the human mind yet. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We thank Allah for giving us Yawmul Jumu'ah. This is congregational prayer, fi sabilillah. It is fardhu, it is obligatory that Muslim men, Rajaloon, attend Jumu'ah. The hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has made it clear that if you miss 3 Jumu'ahs without some foundational reason, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make a mark on your sadur, or your kublahum, which is your heart. So Jumu'ah is very important, especially for the Rajaloon, the male, especially for the male. Unless we have medical situations, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is merciful. He is Rahim, He is most merciful. But Jumu'ah is important for the Muslim men, especially the men. You have a special position in this world, in this dunya, as men, especially Muslim men. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taught Prophet Muhammad that the Jumu'ah is Yamul. Yamul means day in Arabic, Fusha Arabiya, but not a 24-hour day like we think here in America. That's not what Allah is talking about in the Quran. You see? One day with Allah could be 10,000 years, it could be 50,000 years. In fact, it's in the Quran. If you read the Quran, you'll know what I'm talking about. So Yamul, this is Yamul Jumu'ah. So this is the day of Jumu'ah, not just one Friday. Oh no. When we're gone, when our babies are up in here, and you're gone, and you're a great-great-great-great-granddaddy, it'll still be Yamul Jumu'ah. So this is what you're doing. This is what you're giving up 45 minutes for. I don't know if you're aware, but I don't have time, so I'm just going to drop it and move. You gave up 45 minutes to come here and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So many of you left your jobs, your families, or wherever. You came here because you feel it incumbent upon you to come to Jumu'ah. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that Yawmul Jumu'ah is the best day of the year. I want you to hear that. Not Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Ahad after Ramadan. He said Yawmul Jumu'ah is the best day of the entire year where you're at right now. Now, why would Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam say something as important and strong as that? He didn't say Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Ahad. He didn't say Hajj. He said Yawmul Jumu'ah is the best day of the entire year. Read the Quran. It's in the Quran. So that means that there's something happening at Jumu'ah that we're not conscious of. Has to be. Allah, through Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, has said that when you come to the Jumu'ah, when you walked up those 19 steps, and I counted those steps, as you walked up those steps, the angels were walking with you. I don't know if you're conscious of this or not. In fact, in the Quran, Allah says there's 19 over the kingdom. I don't know if y'all know that. It's in the Quran too. Just so happens there's 19 steps coming up Masjid Al Hadi. When you go down and count them, I did. So Jumu'ah, as you approach Jumu'ah, the angels are walking with you. In fact, when you come into the Musalla, the angels are already here. This ain't me, this is Quran, this is Islam, Al-Islam.
They're already here. They know those of you who are sincere and those of you who's killing 45 minutes. Allah knows who the believers are. Those of you who are sincere and those of you who are weak, who are not sincere. Allah knows it when you come to Jummah. It's in the Quran. So don't play Allah. You want to be a player? Play out there. This ain't the place for play. In fact, that's the language. What's up, player? That's the culture. They playing. But you can't play with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can't play with the Quran. And if you think you can, look what happened to the Thamud people, to the Ad people, to the Egyptians, the Pharaoh, to Sodom and Gomorrah. It's in the Quran. They played with Allah. What happened to them? Player. They're gone. So Jummah is serious business you're doing up in here for 45 minutes. Allah says here, in the Quran, I've said this so many times, Allah says to us in the Quran, the 62nd surah of the Quran is entitled appropriately what? Jummah. That's the name of the surah. When you leave here today, go home and read Surah, Jummah, 62nd Surah of the Quran. All of us are here. There's brothers sitting next to you that you don't know. There's sisters sitting next to you that you don't know. They're from different environments. But they all came here for La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Now Allah says in the 9th ayah, the Quran is made up of surahs and ayats. Surahs and ayats. Surahs and ayats. That's it. There's 114 surahs in the Quran, or chapters, if you want the English. There's over 6,000 ayats, or verses in the Quran, if you want the English. But Allah says in the 9th ayah, how many months does a woman go before she delivers birth? 9. You think it's coincidental that this is in the 9th ayat of the Quran? There's no coincidental in Al-Islam. Allah says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. He says, Ya ladina amanu nusalakti yamul juma'a zikr Allah wa zalakum khairun lakum in kuntum ta'lamun. Allah says, O you who believe. Listen how he opens up. He didn't say Muslims. Everything is Muslims. The one doing coke, dope, they Muslims, unconscious, but still Muslims. But he says, Ya ladina amanu, O you who believe, male, female. There's no sexism in our Islam. The sister goes to paradise just like the brother does. The sister goes to hell just like the brothers does. There's no sexism in this religion. You based on your merits, your deeds. O you who believe, when the call is proclaimed to prayer on Friday, Yawmul Jum'ah, the day of assembly, Allah says, hasten earnestly to the remembrance of Allah and leave off your business and traffic, and that is best for you if you but knew. Ta'lamun. So I repeat, there's something happening at Jummah that we are not conscious of. And I open up by saying that when you come to the Jummah, there are angels that walk every step with you to Jummah. They're here. So Allah says, Ya ladina amanu. When you hear Ya ladina amanu, that's a believer, not a Muslim. Understand this. A Muslim is here, a believer is way up there. You understand this? Everything is Muslim. The crackhead is a Muslim. The prostitute is a Muslim, unconscious out of their human form, but they're still Muslims. But the believer is up here. So Allah said, Ya ladina aminu, O you who believe, not O you Muslimun. Allah said in the Quran, He created everything Muslim. So those of you that are here that are conscious of what you're doing with your time, you're in a good place. So Allah says, Ya ladina amanu inna salati. O you who believe, when the call is proclaimed. Darnell called the adhan. He said, Hayya la salat 2 times. Hayya la salat, hayya la falah, left side. This has come to prayer. This has come to worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The job that you have that you love, the beamer you got sitting outside waiting for you, the Benz, the BMW that you got outside, the beautiful wife home, your nice clothes. Who gave them to you? Wasn't it Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So you can't give up 45 minutes to come worship, to put your crown on the ground for Allah? Ya ladina amanu inna salata juma'a dhikru Allah wa dalakum khairul lakum in kuntum ta'lamun. Allahu Akbar. O you who believe, when the call is proclaimed to prayer on Friday, the day of assembly, Allah says, hasten. You know what hasten means? To step. You don't need no Arabic for that. Hasten means to move. It don't mean come to Jumu'ah like this. Arrogant. You can't come to Jumu'ah like this. I told you angels walk with you. You think angels are going to tolerate this coming to Jumu'ah? No. Allah says hasten earnestly. Earnestly to mean sincerely. With humbleness, with respect for everybody that's at the Jumu'ah. All the sisters, all the brothers you don't know, the brothers that you think you're better than. Allah says come earnestly, sincerely, with heart, not with the brain. Come with the heart. The problem with humanity is not, the problem is the heart, because the heart is connected to the brain. Check this out quickly. Your heart, people think the brain is in charge. It's not true. Your heart, technically, biologically, pumps blood, oxygen up to your brain. If you don't get enough brain oxygen into your brain from your heart, you get something called a stroke. You might be familiar with that. A lot of people are having heart attacks now. Why? Because the heart, the kublahum, is not correct. So if your heart doesn't pump oxygen and blood up to your brain, you have a stroke, you have a heart attack. This is Quran, this is medical. Check it for yourself. So Allah says, come to Jumu'ah earnestly with the heart open. Why? So the angels, the malaikatus I talked about in the beginning, can get in there and cleanse all the funk and the arrogance and the hatred and the greed from your heart. That's what happens. You're actually extending your life form when you come to Jumu'ah. That's why the Prophet said Jumu'ah, Yawmul Jumu'ah is the best day of the entire Muslim calendar. What a powerful statement. And we come to Jumu'ah 52 times a year. Once a week. And we come here to get our kublahum cleansed, our heart cleansed, our mind cleansed. Everything is cleansed when you come to Jumu'ah. Why? Because Allah's word is the cleansing. Ya ladina amanu inna salati yawmul jumu'ah dhikru Allah. Dhikru Allah. Dhikru Allah means to remember who? Allah. Subhanallah, 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 subhanallah. That's dhikr. But when you come to Jumu'ah, you put your whole soul into the dhikr. Because now my mind and my heart is at Jumu'ah. I'm remembering Allah. I gave up time from my job to come worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Powerful. That's why Muhammad said Jumu'ah is the best day of the year. You're actually getting your soul cleansed at this Jumu'ah. And you won't know it until you leave here. You're getting the cleansing. Because the words in the Quran that I have just recited to you in the Fusha Arabiya, they go into your conscious mind. Everything is in your conscious mind. The bad stuff you did is in your conscious mind. The Quran, the good stuff you did, is in your subconscious mind. Everything is in your subconscious mind. And when Allah wants it, He will make you remember that. You ever hear a record you heard 40 years ago and you start going crazy? Because the music reached your subconscious mind and you begin to doing the dance that was in style at that time and 40 years ago. Allahu Akbar. So that's what Allah has made you, the human being. So Jummah is a cleansing. You're actually getting cleansed by listening to the Quran. Not me, but the words of the Quran is what's important. I know what I am. I'm Tarab. Tarab is dust. All of you are Tarab. That's in the Quran. Tarab means dust. That's what I am. Prophet Muhammad was dust. Allah said, did He say that He created Adam from dust? All of us are dust. There's 108 elements in the earth. Go check it for yourself. And every one of them is in you right now. Potassium, sodium, all of that. Iodine, magnesium. Your body is made up of all these 8 elements. And they're in your system. And when you get sick, I'm going to tell you what a good doctor will tell you. When you get sick, that means you got too much sodium in there. Or too much something in there. So you have to balance it out and your health will return to you. Allahu Akbar. So, this is what Jummah is. Jummah is a spiritual cleansing of your mind and your heart and your deeds. Don't take your Jummahs lightly. I don't care where you go. I don't care who you listen to. Your Jummah is your lifeline to cleansing your mind and your heart. And believe me, brothers and sisters, your mind and heart is connected to your deeds. And what you do with your life is going to determine where you're going when you leave the physical, biological body. This is so simple. This is Al-Islam. Not Islam, Al-Islam. This is Al-Islam, not Islam. I'm not Shiite, I'm not Sunni, I'm not Ahmadiyya, I'm Muslim. Allahu Akbar. I worship Allah. I don't worship a sect. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. That's all I want to know. So your deeds are important. I don't care what your station in life is. If you're a doctor, alhamdulillah. Whatever you are. What's more important is your deeds, because Allah is going to judge you based on how you led your life. It's so simple. It's not complicated. If you did the best you could with your limited responsibilities, whatever you had power over, whatever you control, whatever knowledge you have. I don't care if you're hafiz or you know one ayat, but you put that ayat into practice. I used to be a Imam in a prison, Hudson County Correctional Center, for 3 years. And I had 2 brothers in there who were hafizes. They knew the Quran front and back. So one day they came in my office, and I asked them, I said, what are you doing in here? He couldn't say nothing. Nobody never asked him that before. You ever see those people that do all the time they like this, and all of a sudden you have a question and they go, nothing. Nobody ever thought to ask him that. The brother was brilliant with Fusa Arabiya. Okay? And the brother sat there and he said, Brother Imam, nobody ever asked me that before. So now, by asking him that question, he began to heal. See, brother, you can't heal until the pain comes out. One of the attributes of Allah is called Al-Shifa. In fact, the Quran is called Al-Shifa Rahmatil. Al-Shifa Rahmatil. Shifa means to heal. The Quran is healing us right now as we sit here with our open, conscious mind and our hearts. Al-Shifa al-Rahmatil. Jummah is Al-Shifa al-Rahmatil. It's in the Quran. Because the words in the Quran go in and they heal your subconscious mind, your conscious mind, your nerves. Even your blood pressure comes down whether you know it or not. This world is designed to push your pressure up so you have a stroke, as I talked about earlier. Jummah is designed to make your pressure come down, your anxieties to come down. Why? Because the angels are here to restore your human consciousness. Allahu Akbar. Oh yes, Allahu Akbar. You in the best place you gave up for 40. This is the best thing you did all day. Believe me. Now some of you say, well, brother Imam, I left my job. You know, I left my job, my paycheck. I got that. But do you know what Prophet Muhammad said about Jumu'ah? He says, those who have a successful Jumu'ah, I want you to listen to this. When some of you walk down those steps, back, those 19 steps I talked about, count them on the wall, and you hit the street and you go back to work, some of you are going to remember what I said. Some of you won't. Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. But the Prophet Muhammad said that when you come to Jumu'ah with the right niyat tune, listen to what I'm saying. You have to make your niyat before you do what? Prayer. You can't make prayer unless you say niyat tune. If you came to Jumu'ah with the right niyat tune, when you leave here, the Prophet said the accepted Jumu'ah, Allah will bless the believer with 400 to 500 blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahu Akbar. That's a Sahih Hadith. Is there anybody in here that couldn't use 400 or 500 blessings? Please raise your hand so I can get you out of here. Because you don't belong in here. Go back to the dunya. You don't belong in here. That's what you get for Jumu'ah. If Allah accepts your Jumu'ah today, you're going to step out here with 400 or 500 blessings. Allahu Akbar. That's what Prophet Muhammad said about Jumu'ah. A successful executed Jumu'ah. You see? So, Jumu'ah is worshiping. Every time you do what Allah says, He gives you something. And when you don't do what Allah says, He still gives you something. Something that you don't want. So Allah's in control. Rahman Rahim, Rahman Rahim, Rahman Rahim, gracious and merciful. So Jumu'ah is Shifa'ul Rahmatil. Shifa'ul Rahmatil. Remember that. A healing. Let us think about this while we make this short dua.
ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار آمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. Allahu Akbar. English. O Allah, exalt Muhammad and the followers of Muhammad, as thou did exalt Abraham and the followers of Abraham. O Allah, bless Muhammad and the followers of Muhammad, as thou did bless Abraham and the followers of Abraham in all the world. Surely you are praised and magnified. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. That is Surah Al-Nabiyun. That is the prayer of the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahu Akbar. Now, I just want to share a few more concepts and we will conclude. I don't want to hold anyone of you here. Your time is precious. I respect your time. But it's important that you're able to take something from Jumu'ah to carry you to the next 7-day cycle. That's why we come every 7 days. Sabah. In Arabic, Sabah is 7. Sabah. So you go 7 days and then you come back to Jumu'ah, inshallah. So you should have enough sustenance, spiritual sustenance and knowledge to carry you through the 7 days so you can return safely back to Jumu'ah again. That's the religion. That's the religion. So Allah says here, I want to talk about the third pillar of Al-Islam, which is zakat. Zakat. I want you to listen to this. Linguistically, the root word for zakat implies purification. Okay? So there's more than one way to get purified, not just by making salat, but zakat means purifications, blessing, and growth. That's what zakat means. Every time you give the Masjid Al Hadi, that's what you're doing. Not just for the masjid, but for you. Zakat means purification of your soul. It means blessing, and you grow mentally, physically, financially, and spiritually. Allah has stated in the Quran, indeed, whoever purifies him or herself, tazakata, shall achieve success.
The word sadaqah is also a word used to signify zakat. Sadaqah comes from the beginning of the word Siddiq. I'm giving you Arabic, Fusha Arabiya today, Arabic studies. That's what sadaqah comes from. It comes from Siddiq. And what does Siddiq mean? Some of you know. Abu Bakr, radiallahu anhu. He was called Abu Bakr Siddiq. It meant the truthful. That was the title Abu Bakr had. Peace be upon Abu Bakr. So Siddiq means, sadaqah means truth. Giving of truth, which is finance to the masjid. That's where it comes from. This word derives from Siddiq, the truth. Siddiq explains the significance of the two terms. The spending of wealth, zakat, for Masjid Al Hadi, for the sake of Allah, purifies the heart of the man or the woman who gives zakat. Now, this ain't me talking. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those of you that give zakat of your wealth for the sake of Allah purifies your heart from the love of material wealth. Some of us are prisoners of material wealth. We're in prison because of greed. This is real. All you gotta do is look around. It's everywhere. America is a materialistic society that wants to accumulate, not give, just accumulate. The Quran speaks about that. It's in the Quran. In the Sharia, which is the Islamic law, the technical meaning and the reference of a specific portion of one's varied wealth, and one must give yearly to specified groups of recipients. If you have wealth, I go right back to what I said earlier in the first part of the khutbah. If Allah has given you money, you're obligated to give something to Masjid Al Hadi. I'm not saying this. Allah says this in the Quran. After all, this is Baytul Allah. Some of you know what Baytul means. Baytul means house. This is the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah says it is the duty of the believers to maintain His house. Listen to the language. His house. I don't want the Yahudi money. I'll accept it if it comes good. But Allah is asking for the believers in Al-Islam to give zakat to Masjid Al Hadi. Isn't that right? Jews give money to the synagogue to keep the synagogue operational. The Christians give tithes to the church to keep it operational. The Masons do this to the Masons, the Prince Hall. They do it. The Shriners do it. We are no different. We have to maintain Masjid Al Hadi. That's our responsibility as Muslims. And in doing that, you purify your heart, your mind, and your wealth. Allahu Akbar. There's no question that among the pillars of Islam, zakat ranks very close to salat. They are often mentioned in the Quran together, and I did the research. Do you know that salat and zakat is mentioned in the Quran 82 times? Check it for yourself. There's 82 places in the Quran, in the Fusha Arabiya, where Allah mentions salat and zakat. In fact, one hadith says that your salat is not accepted unless we also give zakat. Zakat purifies what you announce to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You did the 4 rak'ahs. Ya Allah. You recited Al-Fatiha in the surah. But now you have to get up from there and you have to go into your pocket and into your heart or into your mind and give to the masjid. Why? Because there's other people coming behind you that are going to need your services. Your child is going to be up in here, as I said before. When you're gone, your children are going to be here. So when you give zakat to Masjid Al Hadi, you're giving for the generations here and the ones coming. That's the ummah of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. So zakat goes for the ummah, not just you, for the ummah. We have to think long range. We got to stop this 40-yard dash stuff. 40-yard dash is good, but what about when my baby's up in here and I'm out of here? Would there be a place for him to go to make Jummah prayer? We need to give zakat to the masjid and purify your own soul. Allahu Akbar. Allah says in the Quran, the importance of zakat can also be seen in the following verse of the Quran, where Allah orders the companions to fight the mushrikeen, the polytheists, wherever they can be found. When they, the sacred months, have passed, the polytheists, wherever you find them, and capture them, besiege them, and prepare for them an ambush. But if they repent, now listen to what Allah says, if they repent and offer prayer and give zakah, then leave the way free for them. So we have to give of our material affluence to Masjid Al Hadi to keep it going. We have to keep it going. In fact, when Prophet Muhammad died, I don't know if y'all know it or not, he died, there was a group of apostates that came up after him. Everything happened when the Prophet died. Satan got busy when Prophet Muhammad died. But after he died, shortly after he died, there was a group of people in Medina that decided they didn't want to pay any more zakat. You can check this for yourself. Well, what happened? Abu Bakr Siddiq, radiyallahu anhu. Abu Bakr pulled his sword out. This is Abu Bakr Siddiq, the truthful. That's where we talk about zakat. That's what it is, where Sadaqah comes from, Siddiq. So he had the right name. The first Khalifa, he pulled his sword. And he said, I will declare war on any fractionary group that decides not to pay zakat to this ummah. In fact, he went to war. And what happened? After Abu Bakr finished, everybody started writing their check. They got the message. Why? Because zakat was established by Allah through Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Anything the Prophet establishes is your obligation to solidify it and defend it and die if necessary, because we're going to die anyway. Allahu Akbar. That's what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam established, zakat. So we can't come to the masjid, make salat, do 50-yard dash out the door without helping the masjid. We can't do that. What good was your 2 rak'ahs if you don't support the structure that Allah created? Allahu Akbar. Zakat has a very important role to play for the society as a whole. There are some obvious factors that may be stated. For example, zakat helps the poor of society, and they receive wealth that they are needing. So we're helping the poor, not just the masjid, we feed the poor. Don't you know you can get in Jannah just by feeding people? Think about that. You can get into paradise just by feeding people. Giving zakat, you can get to Jannah. I hope that's where you want to go. If not, you're in the wrong place. It helps the poor for society. They receive wealth there. This should also be strengthening the ties of brotherhood within a Muslim society, as the poor know that the rich will come to their aid through zakat and other means of charity. So to give zakat to the masjid is a purification of your heart, but you also help the beggar on the street, the common man, the poor person that's not even Muslim. Prophet Muhammad gave love and charity to everybody. They didn't have to be Muslim. But support your masjid. Allahu Akbar. Those who, if we give the power in the land, they are ordered by the establishment of prayer to pay zakat and enjoin good and forbid evil. And with Allah rests all matters. Quran, Al-Hajj, 41 ayat. Muslims who do not pay their zakat, male or female, are not only harming themselves, but they are actually harming the entire Muslim ummah. I want you to walk with that too. By you not giving something to Masjid Al Hadi, you're harming the ummah totally. That might not be your intention, brother or sister. I'm not saying it is, but that's what Allah says here in the Quran. Because Allah is Al-Basir. Basir means total vision. Samir, he hears everything. Basir, total vision. He sees everything. He sees in a year 5,000, 10,000 from here. We can't see that far. That's why he says it harms the whole ummah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah says here, and people do not keep from giving their zakat to their wealth, except that they will be kept from falling rain. Your zakat is like a rain of purification to your soul. Every time you give zakat, the water purifies your heart and your mind and your intellect. We have stains. We all have stains. I have stains. We live in the dunya. There's hardly anywhere you can go without being stained by shaitan. It's everywhere. It's in the air, it's in the music, it's in the billboards, it's in the newspapers, it's in the media. It's everywhere. So giving zakat cleanses off the stains of shaitan. Shaitan don't want you to give money. Understand this. Shaitan, Allah said in the Quran, the wiswusu, whisper, subtle, subliminal. You're being affected and you're not even conscious you're being affected. That's what wusu means. Satan affects us without us being conscious. So, Allah says when you come conscious that you've been affected by shaitan, you a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. And then when you do that, the stains come down, the veils come down. Allah sends His word, the angels come, and shaitan is gone. He knows that. He knows that. That's why He doesn't want you to go to Jumu'ah on Friday. That's why He doesn't want you to give money to Masjid Al Hadi for zakat. He knows that. The Quran is a fire to shaitan. Understand that. We have to understand that. They talk about Satan having fire, narun. Don't you know that the words in the Quran burn shaitan, burn evil? That's why he want to get away from you. He don't want nothing to do with you. Get away from him. I can't stand him. The Quran burns, narun, fire. Not a physical fire, a spiritual fire that burns your soul. Forget about that stuff down there. I ain't talking about that. In hell, in the Jahannam, there's going to be a fire you can't put out. You get a fire over here, I can call the fire department. They'll come and throw water on it. But Allah said there's a fire in hell that it feeds off of souls. Allahu Akbar. In hell, let me give you a quick picture. Scared the hell out of me. Allah said in hellfire, the disbelievers, male or female, He said they will be standing on the pit of the fire. Allah will cause flesh to grow on them. They will go into the fire, come back out, and Allah will cause flesh to grow on them again. You hear me? Think about that. And you're still going to have the sensitivities of feel. That's a quick picture of the hellfire. When I got that, scared the hell out of me. That's what's happening. And Satan is already in it. He's already smoking. You can smell him already. America's burning already. All you got to do is turn the TV on and see what's going on. They're burning. It's over. Grover, it's done. But Allah wants us to navigate ourselves out of this fire. He's protecting His people like He did Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Like He did the Hebrews out of Pharaoh. He got them out. Why burn? How do we get out? The Quran. The Al-Saba al-Mintani. Al-Fatiha is called the Al-Saba al-Mintani. Saba, 7. Oft repeated verses. That's how you get out of this hell. It's real simple. And they don't want you to know this. Okay? That's how you get out. That's why you recite Al-Fatiha 17 times a day. I know. I counted it. I measured it. You recite Al-Fatiha 17 times a day. And I'm not even talking about your sunnah prayers. 17 times a day you recite Al-Fatiha if you're praying. If you ain't praying, then you might as well leave. That's your way out. That's how you made it. That's your lamp, your nur. That's how you navigate through it with Al-Fatiha. I don't care how much Fusa Arabiya you know. You have to recite Al-Fatiha first before Allah sets your prayer. Al-Fatiha can be used for any situation. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. Recite Al-Fatiha if you don't know nothing else. Al-Fatiha will save your life. I'll bear witness. Allahu Akbar. Probably save your life too. And examine the 7 verses when you get a chance. Go through it again and read it. Al-Fatiha will save your life. That's what's saving the Muslim community in America while they're burning. So, I urge you, as my brothers and sisters in the deen, my job is to share what I have with you. And your job is to share what you have with me. And if we do that, then Allah said that the Muslim community should be like a solidified brick wall. This is Quran. That's in the Quran, but y'all know that. We should be like this, not like this. We shouldn't be Shiite, Sunni, Ahmadiyya. No. Shaitan set this up. Allah says like this. Like a solid brick wall. Like Abu Bakr. Like Master Bilal. Like Hamza. Like Khalid ibn Walid. Warriors, like Aisha. Like Khadija. Even the women stepped up the pace. We have to solidify our presence here in America. This is serious time. We have to come together. Allah loves us. That's why we're here. Those of you that are here, Allahu Akbar. It's a blessing. Allah wants you here or you would not be here. So if you made it to Jummah today and your heart is open, and something that has been said here goes into your heart and your mind and makes you a better Muslim, Allah has favored us. You've been favored. Don't worry about what's going on. Stay on Sirat al-Mustaqim. Keep your eye on al-Fatiha. Keep your eye on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I don't care what happens. Doesn't matter. Allah is in charge. And as long as we follow Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ain't jack gonna happen to us. Assalamu alaikum. He comes.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Inshallah, not stone.